the basis for which your registration was made. So saying that you are found B, once you are caught, you lose that qualification. You'll be cancelled from the register.
Okay. Any other?
I think it's under section 90, with the suspension of registration. It says one of them stated that the board may suspend the registration of a pharmacist or a pharmaceutical where a false declaration has been made in an application for registration by the pharmacist or pharmaceutical support staff.
If you launch the qualification,
Okay.
you don't hold a degree in pharmacy, and you lie that you hold. So it's not a qualification. The basis of
Okay. So I agree that So when you look at the disciplinary actions that can be meted out, we can have removal, we can have suspension, we can have cancellation. We've talked about removal where someone is dead, has not paid a prescribed fee or found of professional misconduct, right? So for suspension, what does the law state about suspension?
the board may suspend the registration of a pharmacist or pharmaceutical staff. Well,
Someone reading for us.
Metiti baby. 2 or 30.
Is it a real cool?
Reku, can you please mute your mic?
Who are you talking to?
Under section 90, the suspension of registration. Please, can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the board may suspend the registration of a pharmacist or pharmaceutical support staff when an offense or allegation in relation to the pharmacist or pharmaceutical support staff is being investigated. Then B, a false declaration has been made in an application for registration by the pharmacist or pharmaceutical support staff, or the pharmacist or pharmaceutical staff has contravened a 2. Registration shall not be suspended unless the board has given the pharmacist or pharmaceutical support staff at least 30 days notice of its intention to suspend the registration and has provided the pharmacist or the pharmaceutical support staff an opportunity to make a representation to the board.
Exactly. So if you look at this pharmacy technician, he's not, he made a false declaration. He applied to register as a pharmacist with PharmD degree from K University. And this technician was caught. So we are asking, in disciplinary action, what are we going to do? So per the law, someone can be suspended from the register because they made an offense or they were found of an allegation of misconduct in relation to the pharmacist or pharmaceutical support staff being investigated. So the moment an offense is happened or an offense has happened and there is an allegation of misconduct in relation to the pharmacist or pharmaceutical support staff, the person can be suspended. So you might not have committed the offense, but because of offense or an allegation of misconduct, you can be suspended. So the investigation is done. Then, if you've made a false declaration to say that you're a pharmacist. So a false declaration has been made in an application for registration by the pharmacist or pharmaceutical support staff. So you are not a pharmacist, but made a false declaration to help you register as a pharmacist. You can also be suspended. A pharmacist or pharmaceutical support staff has contravened a provision of this part. So these are the requirements for suspension. So once he made a false declaration, he can be suspended from the register. Okay, let's move on.
Number 32. Okay, so this right. Mr. Cabo is a pharmacist who is the current CEO of FDA. Is alleged to have approved the use and circulation of unwholesome and illegal medications on the Ghanaian market without going through the right channels to be evaluated. 32. While Mr. Cabo is being investigated for the stated allegations in 31, he can be A. rusticated from the profession, B. cancelled from the register, C. suspended from the register, D. removed from the register.
Okay, so which one are we going for?
Suspended.
C.
Okay, so I'm hearing C, suspended. Any other answer?
C.
Okay, so why C?
So his act here is more of like a misconduct, and once it's a misconduct and it's not been confirmed and it's something which is under investigation, you don't cancel his registration. You rather suspend him whilst the investigation is ongoing.
Okay, any other answer? All right, so I agree with you. So he's the CEO of FDA. As CEO of FDA, you are supposed to make sure that every drug, food and drug that is coming into Ghana goes through the right channel. They get FDA approval. They are evaluated before they come to the Ghanaian market for consumption. So he allowed for circulation of unwholesome and illegal medications without going through the right channels. So because he didn't do his job, is found of professional misconduct. It's in relation to his job, so it's professional misconduct. So because of that, if he is may not be found culpable and all that. So whilst he's being investigated, he can be suspended from the register. Investigation can be suspended. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, number 33. If Mr. Cabo from the register, B. rusticated from the profession, C. suspended from the register, and D. cancelled from the register.
I'm hearing A. Any other answer? So we all agree it's A, because A, when you are found guilty of a professional misconduct, then you can be removed. Whilst under investigation, you are suspended. But when the disciplinary committee found you to be guilty, then you can be removed from the register. So it's A.
Number 34. Prior to suspension from a register, the board shall communicate the notice of suspension to the offender at least how many days before suspension? A, 30 days. B, 2 weeks. C, 3 months. D, 7 days.
I think it's 30 days.
Yeah, so it's 30 days. Okay. Let's move on.
Please, I have a question.
Okay. Go
So
ahead.
how do you tell the difference between cancellation and removal in terms of being found guilty or being convicted? You see, under the removal, they say once you have been found guilty of professional misconduct by the disciplinary committee, and under the cancellation, they say if one is convicted of an offense under this part. So how do you determine if it's supposed to be removal or cancellation?
All right. So let's read the cancellation. What does the law state about cancellation?
Okay, let me read it. So cancellation, the board shall cancel the registration of a pharmacist or pharmaceutical support staff on the recommendation of the disciplinary committee where the practitioner is convicted of an offense under this part of the regulations, has lost the qualification on the basis of which the registration was made, or is sentenced to a term of imprisonment for a criminal offense, or fails to comply with the penalty imposed by the council after due process.
Okay.
Registration shall not be cancelled unless the board has given the practitioner at least 30 days. Yes, please, sir.
All right. So we've talked about removal when someone is dead, someone is found guilty of professional misconduct, or has not paid the prescribed fee. Then suspension when you are being investigated of an offense, you've made a false declaration, or you have contravened a provision of this part, you can be suspended. For cancellation, the first point is convicted of an offense. Under this part of the regulation, you've lost the qualification on the basis of which registration was made, sentenced to a term imprisonment for a criminal offense, then fails to comply with the penalty imposed. So when you look at Mr. Cabo's situation, Mr. Cabo as CEO of FDA, who is supposed to do his job by making sure that all drugs or all food entering the country go through the right channel to be evaluated and to be approved by FDA. He allowed unwholesome medications to circulate in the system without going through the right channel. So he failed to do his job. And that's a professional misconduct. However, if Mr. Cabo went to steal, maybe he stole someone money, or he killed someone, murder, or he did something that is against the laws of the land, it becomes a criminal offense. So you have criminal offense and you have professional misconduct. If it's a professional misconduct, maybe you are supposed to do something as a pharmacist and you don't do. You are not supposed to, maybe you are supposed to give counseling, give the right counseling and everything. You are not doing it. It's a way of professional misconduct. But you doing an offense that goes against the criminal laws of the country. Stealing, killing someone, all these are criminal offense. Once it's a criminal offense, it doesn't lie with Pharmacy Council again. It becomes something against the nation. So it's a criminal offense and it can be prosecuted. You can serve some term imprisonment. Once you are in prison, you can be cancelled. Once you commit a criminal offense, you can be cancelled from the register. Or sometimes they can give you a fine to pay. And if you are not able to pay for the fine too, you can be you can serve a term imprisonment, and that also amounts to cancellation. So usually cancellation comes in when there's a criminal offense, but removal comes in when there's a professional misconduct. Do you get the difference? Professional misconduct will call for removal. Criminal offense will call for cancellation.
Okay, yes, please. I think I can say now. I just saw that the meaning of conviction. One,
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so please, are we solving all the questions today?
Oh, yeah, tired.
So please, I just wanted to know if we are doing everything today.
Or if you are tired, we can stop and do it another time.
Aisha, please I have a question.
Because when I met the in-person people, we couldn't finish. So we'll continue today. I'll continue today with them. So I'll finish today with them. So I was thinking of finishing with you so that the next time, because the next time I'll meet them, I'll start Hefra. After today, the next time will be Hefra. So if you are not able to finish, we can finish the next time and also start Hefra. So which one do you want?
Let's finish the next time.
Okay. So why did we get to question what?
So please, I have a question. Please, I also have a question.
You have a question? Okay.
Yes, sir,
Okay.
please, the FDA man, is it possible that he can be taken to prison, like sentenced?
That's if he found of a criminal offense. But his offense is not criminal, it's professional misconduct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Dr. Ishak,
Yeah.
please, in terms of the sanction, in terms of cancellation and then the removal, is it that in cancellation your name is going to be gazetted, but then it's going to be struck through? It's going to be like, or there's a demarcation that these people's names have been cancelled. Similarly with the suspension as well. Is it that when the gazette comes, your name is not going to be part? I just want that clarification.
Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
Uh-huh.
Hello.
Uh-huh.
Please,
Sorry, I
you get the
went.
question.
Come again with the question.
Okay. So I was saying that in terms of the sanction for the cancellation and then the suspension, is it that in the cancellation, this list of people's names will be there, but then they'll be written that they've been cancelled, as in when the gazette comes yearly? Similarly with the suspension, what's the difference in terms of the sanction?
So the difference in terms of the sanction. So if you are looking at the severity, is like suspension, they are likely to come back. This one, removal. So it starts, the less severe one is suspension, followed by removal. Then cancellation is the severest. So when you are suspended, if you are dead, you are dead. You are not coming back again, right? But if you are found of professional misconduct, you can be suspended for some number of, no, you can be removed for some number of years and maybe restored to the register. Or if you've not paid the prescribed fee, you can be removed and later restored. Suspension, if you are being investigated for a professional misconduct, there's an allegation, you are just being investigated. It can be that it's true or not. So you can be suspended. So your name is part of the register for that year, but they've suspended you to practice. So you are not practicing, you've been suspended till investigation is over. So once investigation is over and you are not found culpable of the professional misconduct, then you'll be restored. But if you are found culpable, then you'll be removed. So you are being investigated for a professional misconduct, you'll be suspended. Then you'll be restored. All right. Then if you make a false declaration too, you can be suspended and later you can be restored. Then if you contravene a provision too, you can also be suspended and later restored. Cancellation, once your name is cancelled, it's highly unlikely that you return. So if you lost the qualification or but suspension, you have returned.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, please. As I said, please, isn't there a situation where the professional misconduct can also be viewed as a criminal offense, like it doubles as a criminal offense? So it's a professional misconduct, but also seen as a criminal offense.
Yeah, there are certain cases like that.